Thank you for coming on, Professor. So moving forward with this, again, this ruling, 6-3, siding with J6 defendants, or some would see this as a win for some J6 defendants. What does that mean moving forward for those charged or potentially charged with obstruction?
Well, I'm defending one of the young men, a law school student who came just to protest and was led into the Capitol, and he's was indicted. It has a big impact. It's going to make every single court reconsider the case on a case-by-case basis. It's part of a trend that this Supreme Court majority, 6-3, has been leading. It's been cutting back on the breadth of criminal cases. It's so interesting because it's the conservative justices who are giving some meaning to civil liberties, and the liberal justices who are saying, you know, lock them up and throw them in jail. It shows the partisan nature of the judiciary increasingly, but I think in general, it's good for civil liberties. It constrains the criminal law and limits it to cases that Congress really intended to see covered. So it's going to have a big impact, and it could have a big impact as well on President Trump's January 6th case in Washington, D.C., and perhaps even the one in Georgia, if that ever comes to be. Now, we're still waiting, of course, for the big decision on immunity, which will have an enormous impact on President Trump's January 6th case. But this is a victory for civil liberties, a victory for truly liberal people, but also a victory for Republicans and for Trump and for politically the Republican and conservatives.
We're hearing from the Chief Justice that Monday will be the last day of the session. So, and also this is part of this ruling here. The Chief Justice writing it would criminalize a broad swath of prosaic conduct, exposing activists and lobbyists in decades to decades in prison. So again, that was about the J6 case. And even staying on that ruling, Professor, you know, I'm wondering if protesters who show up at those congressional hearings and they interrupt when a witness is testifying, or you've got protesters who come into the rotunda and they're protesting and they're interrupting your day-to-day activity, does this case's ruling sort of protect them from their right to protest?
Well, it certainly has some implications. It may have implications also for some of the vicious anti-Israel and anti-Semitic protests that we're seeing on university campuses and across the country, because, you know, you can't give rights to some people without giving rights to other people. So this may give rights to all protesters. It's obviously in the federal context, not the state context, but it could have implications for state courts as well. The ironic thing is that this is a ruling by conservative justices that is very supportive of civil liberties, with 3 dissenters by liberal justices, which expand the ambit of the criminal law. It really is a very dramatic demonstration of how partisanship is more important than principle, even for some justices of the Supreme Court. But I think as a civil libertarian, I'm happy with this decision. As a criminal defense lawyer representing somebody involved in this, I'm happy with this decision. I think the Chief Justice was right that the existing interpretation of the law has expanded the criminal law and expanded a violation of civil liberties. And this was a necessary response to that over-broadening of the criminal law. So I think it's a good day for America, a good day for protesters, a good day for civil liberties.